Hey guys, happy Sunday! Okay, so today we're going to talk about routine. Okay, I'm only going to give a few tips because I don't want to overwhelm anyone or everyone with the amount of tips that I give, but routine is starting small, of like setting a goal and saying you're going to do it and actually doing it. So for instance, like yesterday in the group, me telling you guys to focus on water and steps, right? That is something that we all can do better on, is constantly focusing on the steps that we're getting each day and what water intake we're getting. So by Joni stepping up last night and being the one to check in, even as a coach, it allowed me to say, okay, yes, I need to check in too with my water. Now with my steps, I only have my phone right now, which also gave me that awareness of like, okay, I either need to put my phone in my pocket when I'm walking or like doing my exercises, or I need to consider getting a watch again, because that is something that as I get deeper into prep, I do want to pay attention to, because I know that it creates so much more burn in my day to day. You guys, I know somebody that does 25 to 30,000 steps a day. They eat so much food and they cannot gain weight because they move their body so much. So they can either eat more. I mean, this is somebody that's a bodybuilder as well. So they can eat more or they need to move less, which is really, I mean, it's kind of crazy, but it's also cool to see and me to express to you guys that movement is so incredible and does us so good if we're able to do it. Because if we're not able to get 10,000 steps in and it does exhaust us, that only tells us that we have work that we need to do, right? So that our body can adjust and get to that point. So that's number one, is simple goals, okay? Set goals and stick to them. And at first, it needs to be simple goals. Like I was on the phone with somebody that was like already, you could tell, getting overwhelmed, like getting overwhelmed to a point where they was like, okay, well, I can do my workout this time. I got to figure that out and I'll get the food in. And then the mindset is the most important part. Like I really got to focus on that. And I was like, oh my gosh, like we can get to a place where you literally are just focused on mindset for now and, getting your breakfast in. Then we can move on to something else. So that goal setting, small goal setting. I'll give Ashley Ford a shout out, because the other day we had a good conversation when she checked in, and then that day she was like, how many steps should I get before 10 a.m.? And I said, shoot for 5,000. And she messaged me and it was like 5,082 or something like that. And I was like, oh my God, like, see what I'm saying? Like little goals like that and setting those, like instantly she had already hit the goal, because she was like, okay, I'm going to do that. So she did it. So kudos to you. But something that I'll stick to and always love to revert back to is the hour by hour chart. So I got these at Target like years ago, and they have the time and then the task. And so hour by hour, I start, like my goal is to wake up at 5 a.m. And so I want to wake up at 5 a.m. and break that hour by hour down by 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That way, even for you, if you work an 8 to 5 job, then you know that from 8 to 5, you are going to put in there at work, right? So that doesn't allow you to work out. So then you have to find a time either before work or after work to make that workout happen, right? So doing it hour by hour really does set you up to understand what your day looks like. And then same thing with like food. So with lunches, we obviously all have to be better about our lunch and packing our lunch. And so I've told several of you, but I'll say it again. The main food that needs to be prepped is your lunch, okay? You have a way to wake up and get breakfast before you leave for work. You can make eggs. You can make a protein shake. You can grab a protein shake. You can grab boiled eggs. You can grab egg bites. You can grab almost anything that you need to for breakfast. Not anything, but you guys get it. Like, it can be prepped or you can cook it. And then for dinner, same thing. Like, you can be at home, you can cook it. Obviously, if you have kids that are playing sports, yeah, you need to be a little more on par of prepping your food. But the most important part that I will tell you guys is when you're prepping food, if you're like, God, I don't want to prep breakfast, lunch, and dinner, don't. But prep lunch, because that middle meal will run your day if you do not have it, by trying to get something out of the vending machine or try to find something around you that's semi-healthy. Like, no, it's never going to work out that way, because you're going to end up making a bad decision because you're just so hungry that you're like, I would rather eat this than that. So prepping your lunch, at least prep your lunch, okay? It is not that hard to go in there and throw some chicken in an air fryer and bake a baked potato, okay? Same thing with ground beef. You can ground up some beef and make a baked potato. You can make hamburger patties and take it for lunch and eat it with a potato or rice or sweet potatoes. It does not matter, but prep your lunch, okay? I'm telling you, if you want to work on routine, prep your lunch. And then the last one, one that I'm going to give on food, and then I'll move on to workouts, is secondary access for protein, okay? If you warm your food up and you're like, oh, I can't eat it, you need a secondary access. If you forget your lunch, you need a secondary access, right? You need that additional access to protein so that you have it. So protein powder, if you do not have a protein powder, you need to get one, because you need to put it in your car, you need to take it to work and leave it there. You need to do something where you can grab a bottle of water and 2 scoops of protein and literally have your protein right then and there if need be, right? That's for emergency purposes only. But there always can be and should be a secondary access for protein, because it sets you up for success. So make that happen if that is the case. slots for movement. Okay, so we've talked about this a couple times too with workouts, but in my schedule that I had before was still in going to school, I had 3 different slots that I could work out. It was right before he went to school, right after I dropped him off from school, or after in the afternoon when somebody was home, right? And so I had 3 different slots where I was able to go get that workout in, and those were my slots that I had to make it happen. If it didn't, I probably wasn't going to get my workout in for the day unless I made a workout at home happen. However, planning your workouts at home, they have to be set in stone. You cannot allow yourself to keep moving your workouts or pushing them back, or whatever the case may be, sleeping in, missing your alarm. All of those things are non-negotiable when you're trying to hit goals. You have to stand firm in what you say you're going to do, because the second that you start standing firm in it is when it clicks, okay? So for instance, if you work an 8 to 5 job, you know that you probably need to get up first thing in the morning and get your workout in at least 3 days a week. Utilize Saturday and Sunday if you want to get your other 2 workouts in, but you know that you at least have to get up and get that workout in, unless you have no plans after work. Okay. And if you have no plans after work, then great, get it done afterwards. But chances are you're going to run into issues if you wait for it to be after work, if you have younger kids at home, because hello, one of them can get sick. One of them can, get in trouble. One of them can be fighting, and you just cannot pay attention to your workout. There are so many things that could go wrong if you allow yourself to keep pushing it back. And that's only going to continue to happen if you do so. So definitely keeping slots open for movement is ideal, and allowing yourself to work out on the weekends. Like, hello. There were so many times that people were like, oh, I didn't know we could work out on Saturday and Sunday. I want 5 workouts a week. Yes, we plan them for Monday through Friday, but you can absolutely move that workout wherever you want it to go, okay? Wherever you want it to go. So those are my tips for routine that I think have a huge benefit on your day-to-day. One thing I'll tell you guys is routine takes practice, okay? You're going to move things around. You're going to have different time slots that you think fit best. Like, that's going to happen. However, you cannot tell yourself that you're trying to set up a routine and not hold yourself accountable for what you're trying to do. It's never going to work. If you keep allowing yourself grace and pushing everything back and saying, man, I'll get it. I'll do that some other time. Oh, I'll get to that. Oh, well, today's not the day. I'm not going to get that workout in. If you continue to tell yourself that, it's going to be a cycle over and over and over. You're going to push yourself away from the things that you want to do. And it's just going to create a sense of burnout and a sense of questioning yourself and questioning the motive here and questioning if you're doing anything right and why you're even trying anymore. Like, we've all gotten to that predicament where we're beating ourselves up and we're like, you know what, this sucks. I'm not even trying. I can't even get my ish together. And at the end of the day, you're telling yourself that. So of course you're not going to get your ish together. Get your ish together and let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So those are my tips. Hour by hour tool, slots for movement, prep lunch, secondary access for protein. And then the last one I'm going to show you guys that I can write stuff down. If it's on my desk, I'll read it. I'll put it in my phone. Sometimes I don't read it, but this is a to-do list and then notes and then miscellaneous. But when I do have this going on my desk and I am able to write things down, it does help me understand the things that I need to move around or do in my routine to be able to utilize what I need to get done, right? So for instance, now as I'm getting ready for the new school year, Stillin will be practicing every day, Monday through Thursday from 5:30 to 7. And so basically I'll get him at 4 o'clock from school. We'll come home, have time for him to eat some protein and get rested and get dressed and then go straight to practice. And so I know that my time slots for workouts are going to be in the morning, well before we get up or before he gets up, after I drop him off once again, or I can go during his football practice, right? So those are things that I know I can do. Now, granted, on me working out during his football practice, it's not something that I want to do every single day where I don't get to watch him practice. But at the same time, I'm also not going to sit there for 4 days in a row and watch him practice. I know some parents watch every practice of their kids, and kudos to you, but that is not me. I will utilize that time very wisely to get things done. I am a single mom now. I do not get to run and gun like I used to. My child is at home all week long, and so juggling the balance of a to-do list and running errands on top of a child being home, it's new. It's a little difficult, and so I have to plan spontaneously, and that's definitely going to mean utilizing that time that he's at practice to go run those errands in town that I didn't get to run. So food for thought. Some moms are like, heck no, I'd never do that. Some moms are like, girl, I don't stay for any practices. So to each their own. I judge no one. I'm just not that mom that sits there the whole time. So that's okay, in my eyes. Anyway, so I love you guys. I appreciate you all so much. Let's have a great week, okay? This is August. This is where everyone starts getting back into the groove of summer being gone and school coming back. And don't let that drift you away from your goals, okay? The challenge of routine is hard whenever your kids start going back to school, because it's a totally different routine that essentially we're never ready for. I remember last year telling y'all, God, I was not ready for this transition. I told myself I'd be ready and I'm not ready. But this time I'm trying to be ready. I'm trying to go ahead and plan and make that my routine, because Dylan is already practicing like that. He is home all day during the day, so that actually makes it harder for me to work consistently, because I do feel like from the time he wakes up till practice, I'm working, and mom guilt is real. So that's been a struggle. So I actually think I'll thrive whenever we go back to school, because we will have a full on like routine together versus it just being about mom. And so I'm very excited for that. And I want to pump you guys up about it, because it is something that is a challenge, yet we all know that we're capable of getting through any challenge. It's just staying plugged in and utilizing me to talk through things. And I need to shout Joni out for that, because she does a really good job on her morning commutes to work about filling me in of where she's at mentally and how she's doing and the things that she overcome the day before. And so I want to encourage anyone and everyone to do that if checking in the morning, she don't do it every morning, but when we've had good talks, like she will check in a couple days prior and be like, hey, this is where I was at, this is how I'm doing today, it's going to be a great day. Like, she really hypes herself up in the morning before she gets to work, and I think that's really important. So I do love the direct contact that we have every morning to be able to do that. So utilize my cell phone number as much as you guys need to, and we will chat soon. Check-ins are coming, by the way. Check-ins are coming this evening. Love you guys. Bye-bye.